third wheel. What can you tell me about it?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the third wheel, is about Greg trying to find a date to the dance. But what I'm having a lot of fun with is writing about boy-girl dynamics in middle school. You know, this whole sort of prepubescent romance thing. I think that it's great, fertile territory for humor, and I'm excited to explore it.
That's fun. Do you have any stories from your own middle school romance interactions?
I remember when I was in middle school, it was really important who you were going with. That's what we called it at the time. Now they call it dating, but I'm not sure even what that means. But I think that you know, you knew exactly where you were in the social strata by who you were dating. And so you're always trying to move up. And then you sort of carried a resume with you, you know, in a way, because of who you dated and who you were aiming for. It mattered.
Do you have any moments that are going to show up in the book?
I have a moment that makes me laugh when I think about it, is that Greg is interested in one girl who's not a bad looking girl, and she's sort of a little bit out of his range, but she dated this, you know, this really goofy looking kid, and so Greg is imagining himself marrying this girl, and as he's getting ready to kiss the bride, this image of the you know, the goofy looking kid pops up, you know, in a thought bubble above his head. So I think that'll be pretty fun as a visual.
That's perfect. So middle school romance, humor. What else is Greg going to be up to? Looking for the date for the dance.
Right.
It's like a big.
I'm going to be doing a lot of flashbacks in this book. Greg is going to think back on the time when he was actually in utero, when his parents were trying to fashion him into a genius by, you know, playing classical music for him in the womb and things like that. And then when he got out, they're showing him these black and white books, and they really want him to be a genius. But Greg feels like he has to live up to this expectation where he has to satisfy this image that his parents have created for him. So I'm having a lot of fun with that as well.
And you're still working on all your other projects?
I've got a lot of other projects going on. I work for Pop Tropica, which is my day job, and I've got an animated Wimpy Kid holiday feature in the works, and I've got some other things going as well. So lots at the same time. It's true.
So do you have any idea how many books we're going to see in the Wimpy Kid series?
I'd really love to bring the Wimpy Kid series to 10 at least. I used to feel like there should be an ending to these books, and I've really come to realize that Greg is a comic character, and a comic character can kind of live on forever. So as long as I'm writing well, I'd really like to keep writing these books.
Do you have any other books that you'd like to write simultaneously, or?
I'd love to create a new series, because I wouldn't, you know, I would like to become a multiple property creator, if you will. But I don't know if I have another great idea in me, and if I don't, then I'm not gonna go out with a bad idea. I think that I've found my age range, which is somewhere between 3rd grade and 7th grade. I think that my sensibilities are very G-rated. I like to be a little bit edgy, but not high school edgy. So I think that I've found the perfect target for myself.
Are you interested in doing like an animated, you said you're working on a film, some kind of a short?
I'd really like to see Greg Heffley in animated form on film or on television, because I think that hasn't been expressed yet. And I'd like to see something that's very true to the series, that feels like it's just pulled right off of the pages. Yes, it's something I am working on, yes.
Oh, great. For this holiday? Or?
I think that if it comes out, it'll be next holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're writing, do you have any things that you totally avoid, or that like email, or you turn off your phone, or?
I actually don't read any other kids' books. You know, it was even difficult to allow myself to read the Harry Potter books when I was writing the first Wimpy Kid books, because I don't like to be influenced by anything else. But I do listen to lots of books that are for grown-ups, like you know, Game of Thrones and things like that, while I'm drawing. When I listen to audiobooks, I tend to go with historical fiction or history. You know, it's hard for me to go to a fantasy series, but I really like Game of Thrones. I think that it's really deep and a very credible universe, so that sort of drew me in.
Would you ever think about writing something for kids that has a historical, or putting Greg in some kind of dream world or something?
In my day job, which is a creative director of Pop Tropica, I actually get to do all sorts of storytelling across lots of different genres, including fantasy and history and all sorts of different things. So I get that satisfaction in my day job, but in books I think I'm going to always stick with humor.
So next year, can we count on you for a book a year?
That's a good question. I'm hoping to keep up the pace of a book a year for Diary of a Wimpy Kid. In fact, I'd love to come out with 2 one year. That would be really fun. But I don't know if I can quite do that in terms of just pure production, having a day job and doing the other things that I do. But I would really like to just give kids that feeling of that there's a new book on the horizon. It's been fun to put out 1 book a year.